What would you do if the person you trusted most invited someone into the room and never told you why? Stay with me. You're going to want to hear this. His breath still lingered in the air between us when he pulled back, eyes locked on mine like he was about to reveal something. He didn't say much, just stay here. Then he crossed the room and opened the door. I didn't move. I just watched because whatever this was, it wasn't over. Before we get into it, if you've been here before, go ahead and tap like and subscribe. It really does make a difference. And if you're new, welcome. You're right on time. We're just getting started. Thanks for being here. Now, let's begin. His mouth met mine, warm, steady. As I leaned forward, still close, my knees angled toward his, the fabric of my dress settling awkwardly beneath me, I could feel how near he was, how still the space between us had become. His fingers paused in my hair, holding the moment quiet, while my hands rested gently at the back of his neck. I hadn't noticed how fast I was breathing until it slowed, my focus narrowing to the way his breath shifted just near my cheek. The room had faded, the night, the conversation, the plans. They'd all quieted beneath the weight of the stillness between us. He exhaled soft and close, and I tilted toward him without thinking. One hand lingered gently at my side. The other moved to lift my chin, his touch pausing at my jaw until our eyes met. They weren't just focused now. They were unreadable, measured, holding something he hadn't said out loud. Stay right here, he said, voice low and certain. He eased me upright with steady hands and crossed the room without another word. I didn't move. I sat in place, breath shallow, the quiet still hanging in the air like it hadn't caught up to what just passed. I didn't call after him. I didn't shift. I just watched him reach for the door. It opened and his best friend stepped inside. He didn't flinch, didn't laugh or hesitate. He stood in the doorway, his expression unreadable, eyes scanning the room before settling on mine, gaze lingering like he was waiting for something to make sense. So, this is what we're doing now? He said, voice calm, a little amused. I didn't answer. I didn't say a word. I looked at him, then at my husband. Something between uncertainty and anticipation tightened in my chest. And still, I didn't move. My hands tightened slightly in my lap, but I stayed still. The air felt heavier now, and I wasn't sure if I was breathing or just waiting. The door eased shut behind them with a soft click, and now they were both in the room. One stood quietly by the door. The other approached again, carrying the same quiet intensity he hadn't lost since he crossed the room the first time. My husband moved first. He stepped to my side without a word, close enough that I could sense him there without feeling him. His fingers reached for my face, not rushed, not forceful, just a gentle lift of my chin until our eyes met. His touch hovered like he was about to say something more. You're still with me, he said. I didn't answer, but I didn't look away. The other man took a step, then another. He stopped a few feet away, gaze lingering not on any one thing, but shifting over the room, then pausing on me. His expression was unreadable, not expectant, just watching. His hand lifted slowly, fingers brushing a loose strand of hair away from my face. Then he hesitated like he wasn't sure if he should have touched me at all. I exhaled, unsure if it was out of relief or something else. I didn't lean in, but I didn't lean away either. For a moment, everything held still. My husband's hand rested lightly at my side, not pressing, not guiding, just there, as if reminding me he was part of this too. The friend stood close, but didn't move again. His eyes met mine. There was something in them I couldn't quite name. Not pressure, not invitation, but the edge of something waiting. He leaned forward slightly, just enough that I could feel the shift in the air between us. And I didn't stop him, but I didn't meet him either. The space between us remained, barely there, but still intact. My husband stayed quiet beside me. I glanced at him, expecting I don't know what. His expression didn't give anything away. Not approval, not resistance, just stillness. And I didn't move, not because I was ready, not because I had decided, but because the moment hadn't asked for anything more. The room felt quieter than before, like the air itself had shifted, thick with the kind of tension that didn't need words to be heard. I stayed where I was, aware of them both without looking at either. I didn't know what they expected from me or if they expected anything at all. My husband stepped behind me, not touching but present. I could feel the pause in his breath more than the breath itself. The way his attention settled like a weight without pressing. Across from me, his friend stood still, his gaze circling me like he was trying to find the question buried underneath all of this. Neither of them said a word. And yet the silence said everything. I rose slowly, not from certainty, but because sitting still felt impossible. The air had grown too still. I didn't look at one over the other. I just stood, arms loose at my sides, the silence stretching with me as I straightened. Their eyes were on me, not in hunger, not in judgment, but in something far quieter. Like they were both waiting to see who I was when no one spoke. His friend took a half step forward, not enough to close the space, just enough to be noticed. I didn't step back, but I didn't meet him either. It was the kind of distance that asked nothing, but held everything. "You've always watched me like you knew something I didn't," I said, voice low. His expression didn't shift. He didn't confirm it. He didn't deny it. He just looked at me, steady, quiet, like the room had stopped moving entirely. Behind me, I felt my husband's presence tighten. Not physically, but in the way the silence between us pressed in like a thought he wasn't saying out loud. My hands stayed at my sides. I didn't reach for anyone, and no one reached for me. "You felt this coming, haven't you?" my husband asked. Not accusing, not tender, just asking. I didn't answer. I wasn't sure how to, so I didn't. The room felt impossibly quiet, like something had paused in the air itself. I stayed still, caught in the space between two silences, unsure which one to face. Neither of them spoke, neither moved. But I could feel them, not touching, just present, like the stillness had sharpened between us. I didn't know where to look, so I didn't. I just stayed where I was, breathing slow, aware of every breath that wasn't being taken. The weight of the moment settled around me like fabric that hadn't touched skin yet. It wasn't cold, but it wasn't warm either. He stood behind me, not pressing, not guiding, just there. I could feel the shape of him in the space I didn't step into. His friend waited ahead, gaze quiet, focused, not asking anything, only watching, waiting. I moved without knowing why. I sat back slowly, grounding myself as if motion might steady what my thoughts couldn't. Neither man reached for me, but neither looked away. Their attention moved with mine, not as a signal, not as pressure, but as if none of us were sure who would speak first. "You've both been so quiet," I said, more to fill the air than to hear myself. Still no answer. I glanced between them. My husband's eyes held something steady, familiar. His friend's gaze had a softness that didn't feel like hesitation, more like restraint. I couldn't name what I saw there, and I wasn't sure I wanted to. The silence didn't break. It bent gently, as if something unspoken had just shifted beneath it. I rose again, not from direction, just instinct. I stepped forward, then turned, facing them both. I felt exposed, but not because of skin, because neither of them moved, and yet I felt fully seen. My hands stayed at my sides. Their eyes held me in place, though neither man stepped closer. For a moment, I thought one of them might say something. But again, they didn't. They didn't have to. I took a breath, but it didn't feel full. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't sure either, just present. Just listening to the quiet tension. Neither of them seemed willing to break. "You felt it too," I said. Softer now. My husband didn't deny it. His friend didn't confirm it. But I could see the answer. In the way they stood. Still balanced. Like none of us were ready to move, but all of us already had. The air was still humming with something. Not urgency, not heat, just a question that none of us had found words for. My fingers curled gently at my sides. I didn't move closer. I didn't step back. I just let myself be seen. And that was enough. That was all it had to be.